Hi friends, it's Miss Rose from the LaGrange Park Library. Happy Election Day. I've already voted. Tell your grown-ups to get out and vote. All right, so we are going to start with our welcome song. So let's get our hands ready, warm our fingers up. It goes like this. Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here, we'll have some fun. First we'll clap our hands just so, then we'll bend and touch our toes. Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here, we'll have some fun. Excellent work. All right, friends, our first book today is called Equality's Call, The Story of Voting Rights in America. So we are going to learn about how different people got the right to vote in America. And this is written by Deborah Deason, and Magdalena Mora did the illustrations. And so we would like to thank the authors, the illustrators, and the publishers. And I'm just going to read you, before we start, I'm going to read you a little bit of information here. In 1776, the founders of the United States of America declared that consent of the governed would be a key component of our country. That means that you get a say in what happens. The founders didn't always agree on everything, but they did all believe that the power of our government should come from the will of the people and that citizens would express their choices by voting in elections. But at that time, only some people were allowed to vote. Citizenship, the legal status of being a member of a country, and the right to vote, sometimes called the franchise, political franchise, or suffrage, were not available to all. As our nation grew, our understanding of democracy and rights grew too. Many people stood up and spoke up about abolition, the end of slavery, about citizenship, about enfranchisement, and about civil rights, equal opportunity for all. They also worked to end voter suppression, the practice of discouraging or preventing people from voting. They heard equality's call. And this is all the students who are going to learn about that, just like you. And it says voting rights on the blackboard. Our founders declared when our country began that consent of the governed was part of the plan. Through voting, elections, and representation, the voice of the people would strengthen our nation. In fact, though, for years, this great founding ideal was extended to some, and for others not real. But we heard in the distance equality's call. A right isn't right till it's granted to all. These pages are very sticky today. The states set the rules about who got to vote, and your gender, your race, and your wealth were of note. So who could vote? White men could vote. Everybody else? Nope. White men with property went to the polls, but the rest of the people were left on the rolls. The dream of democracy wasn't yet true. There were changes to make. There was work still to do. So you had to be a wealthy white man to vote back then. But we heard growing clearer equality's call. A right isn't right till it's granted to all. The rules about wealth were the first thing to go. As more were enfranchised, their voices could grow. And a small group of voices was raising the fact that enslavement was wrong, an unspeakable act. Good people stood up for the truth that they knew abolition and suffrage were long overdue. We heard ever louder equality's call. A right isn't right till it's granted to all. Now look, the group is gaining more people, right? There was war in our nation, and slavery ended. Amendments were added. The franchise extended. Now more men could vote. At least so the law said. Yet denial through taxes and tests was widespread. And the voices of women were mostly omitted. In only some states was their voting permitted. But nothing could muffle equality's call. Our right isn't right till it's granted to all. Suffragists didn't give up on the fight, and the 19th Amendment gave women the right. And that was 100 years ago this year that happened. But voters of color still met with oppression. Their voting was hindered by brutal suppression. So we passed legislation to make voting fair, to extend and protect voters' rights everywhere. And it says here, 1924, the Indian Citizenship Act is passed. 1964, the Civil Rights Act is passed. 1965, Selma to Montgomery March and the Voting Rights Act is passed. And 1970, first extension of Voting Rights Act. We heard it, we felt it, equality's call. A right isn't right till it's granted to all. The journey's not over, the work hasn't ended. Democracy's dream must be constantly tended. But where we are now is a debt that we owe to the work of more people than we'll ever know. And each time we vote, we acknowledge that past. We honor our rights to ensure they will last. For to vote is to answer equality's call. And each time we vote with them all the people who helped get us voting rights. And this is a great book. I won't read all of this to you, but there's a lot of information in the back. And it talks about all the different people that you saw in the book. So if you want to check this one out from the library, come and do that because there's a lot of great information in here. All right, now it's going to be your turn to vote. So we're going to look over here, and I've got some houses here. Let's see, I know it's kind of hard to see a little. All right, so how many houses do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what colors do we have? Orange, red, blue, green, and purple. And now we're going to be looking for a rocket today. So we have a rhyme that goes like this. Silly rocket, quiet as a mouse. Where are you hiding? Behind which color house? Okay, so now it's your turn to vote. So I want you all to yell out what color you think we should look behind. I think I heard red the loudest. Okay, let's see what's behind our red house. Is that a rocket? No, that's a dolphin. Okay, now how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's your turn to vote again. So when I say the rhyme, I want you to call out a color. Silly rocket, quiet as a mouse. Where are you hiding? Behind which color house? Did I hear blue? I think I heard blue the loudest. Not a rocket. What is that? It's a robot. Okay, now we're down to 1, 2, 3. 3 houses. Silly rocket, quiet as a mouse. Where are you hiding? Behind which color house? What do I hear? Oh, I think I hear purple the loudest. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Not a rocket, right? What's that? A hippopotamus. Okay, we're down to 2. 1, 2. Silly rocket, quiet as a mouse. Where are you hiding? Behind which color house? Cast your vote. What color? Okay, I think I heard orange. Are you sure? Are you sure you want me to look? Okay, here we go. What is that? It's a monkey. Not a rocket though, right? Well, that just leaves one, doesn't it? Leaves the greenhouse. Well, let's say our rhyme and see if he's in there. Silly rocket, quiet as a mouse. Where are you hiding? Behind which color house? Alrighty, let's count to 3. 1, 2, 3. There he is! Blast off! All right, nice work, everyone. Good job voting. We've got one more short little book for us today, and this one is called Citizen Baby, My Vote. And this is by Megan E. Bryant and Daniel Prosterman and illustrated by Micah Player. And again, I'd love to thank the authors, illustrators, and the publishers for making such great voting books. Citizen Baby knows a thing or two about voting. Studying the issues is a great place to start. See, look. This grown-up is looking on the computer. He's reading a book. That book is called Be Kind, Love, and Give and Give and Give. It's important to meet the candidates if you can. They love kissing babies. When there's a town hall, you have to show up, even if it's past your bedtime. Candidates need to hear your voice. Don't forget to register to vote. Then help your friends register too. Now it's time to get to work. What are they doing in this one? Are they making posters? The race is heating up and you're on a roll. Let's get out the vote. They're going to the polling place to vote. Phone calls to voters are almost as important as phone calls to Grandma and Grandpa. At last, Election Day is here. Don't let bad weather, long lines, or a busy schedule keep you away from the polls. It's your chance, your choice. Your vote. Plus, you get a sticker. After voting, you have to wait for the results. Waiting is never easy, but win or lose, you can be proud of doing your part. Citizen Baby knows that every election matters and every vote counts. Now, let's do it all again. The end. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me on this election day. Let's say our goodbye rhyme and get out the vote. All right, let's reach up and tickle the clouds. Make them laugh. Tickle your toes. Tickle your shoulders. Tickle your nose. Reach down low. Reach up high. 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 Story time's over. Time to wave goodbye. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for voting.